How's it going, gamers? Luis here from GVN, and I pretty much essentially grew up playing video games. Ever since I was born in '96, my parents bought me a Super Nintendo and an N64, and now as a young adult, I'm playing video games on my PS4, my Xbox One, and my Wii U. And there's a lot of awesome video game franchises that I grew up playing as a little kid that are still going on today as a young adult. And they're pretty close to my heart, and that's why today I want to list my top 5 personal favorite video game series of all time. Now this is my own personal list, my own opinion. There's game series I've never played before. I've never played Metal Gear Solid, for example, so that doesn't really relate to me at all. Although it might be a great series, I personally never played it. And that's sort of the beauty of this video. Because of this top 5 list, I might learn some new video game series that you guys list in the comment section below, or you might learn a series that you've never heard of because you watched this video. So without further ado, here are my top 5 personal video game series that I played and cherish really close to my heart. Number 5. Pokemon. I think everyone that grew up in the 90s played Pokemon, or at least watched the anime at some point. I, for example, every Saturday morning would wake up and watch the anime on Cartoon Network, and then I would play the games on the Game Boy. I would even take my Game Boy to school when I wasn't supposed to go trade and battle Pokemon with my friends during recess, even though it technically meant I might get my Game Boy taken away by one of the yard duties. It was worth the risk because Pokemon was just that much fun. Even though now as a young adult I find it much harder to get into Pokemon because there's just so many Pokemon nowadays that I just don't remember all of them. I remember the original ones back from Diamond and Pearl and before, and those are the best memories I've had with Pokemon. I still buy Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and I still played X and Y, but I really cherish the original Pokemon games on the Game Boy a lot, and I have very fond memories of playing those up to Diamond and Pearl, and that's why that series is really important to me. Number 4. Persona. Now I only recently got into Persona about 2 years ago when I was in high school, when my friend let me borrow his copy of Persona 4 Golden for the PlayStation Vita. Now to be honest, I really wasn't into the JRPG genre about 2 years ago. It really never caught my eye. But as soon as I started playing Persona 4 Golden, I just got really into that series, and it just got me hooked into it. I roughly put in about 90 hours into my first playthrough of Persona 4 Golden, and then I had to buy my own copy to get my second playthrough into that game. I just had so much fun with it. As soon as I finished playing Persona 4 Golden for the second time, I went on PSN, bought every single classic Persona game on PS3, and now I'm playing through Persona 3, and I played every single other spin-off game so far. I played Persona 4 Arena, Ultimax Q, and I can't wait to pick up Persona 4 Dancing All Night, and most importantly, I'm really excited for Persona 5. There was just something about that turn-based battle system and all those life simulation events that really caught my eye, and it was like my first toe dipping into the JRPG genre that really caught my attention. And so now I'm playing games like Ni no Kuni and a bunch of other awesome JRPGs because of Persona. And besides all that, Persona has really been one of the most recent games that ever really caught my attention that would make me want to go back and play every other game in the series. That's usually something that doesn't really happen to me that often. But Persona was one of the recent titles that did do that, and that's why it's now one of my personal favorite game series of all time. Number 3, Super Mario Bros. You would think this is probably number 1, right? But no, it's not, at least for me. I think everyone at one point played Super Mario Bros., whether it was the original one, the second, the third, the 64, or one of the other 3D platformers that came out in recent years, but someone at one point has played a game with Mario in it, and it's left that iconic little memory in their brain. And it's the same thing with me. I grew up playing Super Nintendo and N64, and so I played Super Mario All-Stars and I played Mario 64. And ever since as a little kid, I was pretty much a Nintendo kid, so I grew up playing Mario Brothers. And besides growing up with the game series has always been pretty well polished in terms of just design and gameplay. I'd never thought back once saying, wow, that Mario game was absolute garbage. They've always been really well done, and that's why it also holds a very special place in my heart. It's just a really great game series. Number 2. Super Smash Bros. Super Smash Bros. Has always just been a really big part of my life. I remember playing that game back on the N64, Melee on the GameCube, Brawl on the Wii, and now Wii U and 3DS, and it's always just been there for me. I could always count on Nintendo releasing a new iteration of the series with every game console that ever came out, and they have. So much so that when I was a little kid, I would bring over my friends to come play 4-player free-for-all on the N64, and even now in college, we still do that with my new roommates here on the Wii U and the 3DS. I guess it's always been that quote-unquote party game. I know some people don't really want to call it that, but it's always been that type of game that has brought everyone together, whether it's online or locally. It's just a game that's really been always fun for me to play, whether I'm playing with my siblings, my friends, my parents, anybody. Number 1. Kingdom Hearts. Besides Super Smash Bros., Kingdom Hearts has been the game series I've most heavily invested into. It spans so many different game consoles that I am willing to buy a game console if I have to play the new entry in Kingdom Hearts. That's how dedicated I am to that series. So much so that I actually ended up doing that for Birth by Sleep. Even more than that, I actually had 2 copies of Birth by Sleep. I couldn't wait for the English one to come out, so I imported the Japanese one. Then I bought the English one. I'm literally just obsessed with Kingdom Hearts. Ever since I was a little kid, I remember seeing the Disney 411 commercials for the original Kingdom Hearts and seeing all the new trailers for Kingdom Hearts 2. And that's what originally really sold me on the game series, Kingdom Hearts 2. That's always been my favorite game in the series and just in general, all video games. I love Kingdom Hearts 2. I remember seeing King Mickey as a little kid fighting a bunch of Heartless with his Keyblade. I thought that was awesome. And that's what originally caught my attention, seeing all the characters I grew up watching on Disney movies that I was already really attached to interact seamlessly in a video game with brand new original characters. It was just perfect. It was a cast I already loved, brand new characters in a brand new interactive way. And that's what really caught my attention with Kingdom Hearts, and now I've been playing them ever since the first game came out. So you guys have no idea how excited I was when Kingdom Hearts 3 got announced. I'm sure if you're in the audience for the E3 2013 PlayStation conference, you would have heard me in the audience yell, "Oh finally! Kingdom Hearts 3 is finally announced." And those are my top 5 personal video game series of all time. Let me know your own personal list in the comment section below. Let me know if you have any personal cherished memories about those games that you've played before, or if we share any. Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and you feel like being awesome and supporting the channel, give the like and share with your friends, as it really helps me out, helps the channel grow. If you want to check out the last 2 videos I recently did, they were both Pokemon videos. One of them was on the evolution of the Pokemon series, again, one of my favorite video game series of all time, as well as the beta of Pokemon Red and Green, sort of a development history of those 2 games. Thank you all very much for watching the video. If you want to be kept up to date with me off of YouTube, there's links to all my social networks, including my Patreon, in the description below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. It's just a game that's really been always fun for me to play, whether I'm playing with my siblings, my friends, my parents, anybody. God damn it, you f***ing like, right at the end.
Try to be quiet about it.
Alright.
Try to be quiet about it.
I got one more to get through.